what time it is. It's your lunch break. You know what that means on a Monday, Panthers 360, right here on the WPTV YouTube page. We are back in the studio with my main man, John Barron, who covers the Florida Panthers in and out all season long, and we're here to talk about them, John.
Yeah, we have to. I mean, obviously, a lot of Panthers fans know that there's light at the end of the tunnel, but right now when you look at everything, the grand scheme of it for the year, it's unfortunately been a wash, but there is a possibility of a bright light at the end of this.
We're going to talk about that. We're going to fire it up. Hey, listen, we're still in the regular season here. We're not paring down by any stretch of the imagination. You know who else isn't? Our head coach. What a milestone. Let's talk about this first.
Yeah.
March 24th, Seattle Kraken game. Head coach Paul Maurice coached in his 2000th game. He's only the second ever in NHL history to eclipse 2,000 games, both he and Scotty Bowman. That's it. That's the list.
Yeah.
Number one, number two. You could see Coach right there, the moment where he took it all in at the game. What were your thoughts when you saw this, John, covering the team very closely and what it means for him moving forward?
One, I love what this organization has done. They've brought in people who care, not on just a wins and losses kind of scheme, but on an emotional level as well. Paul Maurice is at the head of all of that, and he and just so many guys, we've seen so many milestones this season, but to see somebody no better than Paul Maurice to have that opportunity, it was awesome to see him love and just enjoy the moment. You could see, obviously, those last three games, he's now bumped up a little bit. He's just kind of, ticking away at that with, Scotty Bowman. But when we talk about a coach who has just had the accolades and before we saw him in 2024, just had not been able to,
get over
lift
that hump.
up the, I mean, when you talk about lifting up Lord Stanley, I mean, he's now done it twice, but you could see the emotion in the first one. So it was great to see him do that. Great to see him now at 2,000 games.
Yeah, and it's kind of projected. Bowman was a bit older when he hit that 2,000 game mark. Maurice potentially, if everything goes right, and with the Panthers that we hope it does, could be the 27-28 season that he eclipses Scotty Bowman to be number one, and that is a lot of hockey. Remember, he started as the head coach of the Hartford Whalers. If that shows you how long ago that was, in the '96 season.
Yeah, yeah, we're going to see a lot of people at the end of this era that are just going to now sit up at the top of the rafters. We're just going to take Coach Paul Maurice's jacket, put it up there as well. So, I mean, you got so many people who are going to be joining off of this team and just off of this organization. We're going to see a lot fill that, and Paul Maurice.
Yeah, wouldn't be bad to start with him.
No, absolutely not.
Okay, so this has been a season where Coach and the players have just had to talk about injury after injury. It's just been a season like none other. We're in the final stretch now, the regular season. There is a lot of optimism. I was down at practice the other day. I know you've been at practice extensively. You see Alexander Barkov in the yellow non-contact jersey, and you see him like, wow, he looks like he didn't miss a beat.
Right.
What really gives you a sense of optimism in this, what will now be an actual offseason heading into the regular season for next season?
In my opinion, much needed. Yeah. This team has been running on fumes for the last 3 years. They've had the shortest schedules because of the fact that these off seasons have been just Stanley Cup Finals, Stanley Cup Finals, Stanley Cup Finals. When you go three, I mean, you see what happened. I mean, the same thing with like the Lightning, what we saw them with that stretch, and then they just kind of missed out. But for them, they didn't have the roster we do right now with this opportunity window still open. Now, obviously, with so many of these injuries, they weren't accounting on that. We saw what happened when Barkov went down. This team was still finding its opportunities, finding wins. But the league this year is, first off, the Eastern is above and beyond. I mean, you've got two teams right now fighting out when you talk about Buffalo and what's going on with the Lightning. So many of those guys just fighting for that top spot. But this team right now is looking for an opportunity to rest and come back full strength.
So many in the stretch of last year's Cup run. What, are they going to run out of gas? At what point in the playoffs are they going to run out of gas? They didn't. They did something incredible. And you're right. I mean, even until right after the Olympic break, they were in this race.
Yeah.
And I think just injury after injury, key parts, and it's the in-game injuries too that affect. But let's see what this squad that's all re-signed looks like coming back next year.
That's what I'm saying, right?
And we'll see what's what.
And these injuries have been such a big problem that we're even going to see them a little bit into next year, kind of bleed in a little bit as well. So when you talk about what this team is going to look like, I feel like a lot of these teams are kind of relaxing a little bit with the Panthers, and that's going to be a big problem because you're going to face them again. You're going to be like, oh, wait, that's right.
Yeah.
We haven't seen this team full strength.
Oh, the two-time Stanley Cup winner.
Yeah.
There they are.
Well, that was just a couple years ago.
Okay. So I know you saw it. You saw it at home probably 1,000 times on social media now, but it is worth revisiting potentially the goal
of the year. Yeah.
Absolutely filthy. Matthew Tkachuk against the New York Islanders. Watch his quick hands. Okay, so he gets it right here. We'll do the play-by-play. And just, you blink and you miss it.
Yeah.
That was him going between the legs, top shelf, unbelievable. Okay, here we'll call this the Panthers goal of the year by far.
Oh, absolutely.
Right,
I mean, top shelf. But my thing is that when you watch it the first time, it happens in a blink of an eye.
Yep.
And a lot of people weren't really reacting the way that they were until they saw the replay, and you realize not only did he go through the legs, but he went top shelf. So, I mean, it was awesome to kind of see that, and I just think that Tkachuk is showing everybody, look, I'm not the only one that could do this. You're going to see when Barkov comes back. We're going to see when Marchand comes back. Yep. You're going to see so many of these guys that it's going to become a problem yet again, like we saw all of last year.
Yeah, and there's still games. By the way, the Battle of the Brothers coming up. He's facing Brady against the Ottawa Senators, our next game. But when you do see that, Matthew Tkachuk, admittedly not the fastest skater on the ice, but the hands, the IQ, and the quickness in space, unbelievable.
Absolutely.
And I can't wait to see that complement a full stack of players next year.
I know everybody's just fingers crossed that we get to see Barkov very soon, but he'll come whenever he's ready, and we'll be able to have that full cat stick
Nice
back.
to see the young guns getting their chance.
Oh, absolutely.
The regular season. So there's a lot of reasons to watch. And listen, stick with your team because, listen, it's in these times during your fanhood that you remember when you're at the top, okay?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, we were there for this, and we're there for it right now. Panthers 360 every Monday with John Barron or another in the studio. But listen, you can do that every Monday, 12:15 on your WPTV News YouTube page. Leave us some comments, some questions. We love talking Cats hockey. I want you all to have a great rest of the day, and we'll see you soon. Thanks, Johnny.
Absolutely.